Welcome back to episode 6. The first chapter book, whatever we called it, is now dead. It's done. The origins have been defeated forever. We now know everything about us, right?
Everything about each other.
There's no need for any more podcasts.
Yeah. No, it's over, actually.
And joining us for the 6th episode is none other than Scribbles. Yes, he's back.
Hello, hello.
He wants to come back for round 2. He didn't hate it, at least.
Yeah,
I guess everyone else did, but
yeah. These are the only one who returned.
Literally everyone else hated the whole process.
Yes.
Just kind of spearheading into it. We're going for a new format now that we can't just exhaust half the podcast on somebody telling their entire story. So now we actually have to talk again
about stuff.
We actually have to come up with our own thoughts.
And I have no idea what to talk about other than I think about fast food all the time.
Me too.
And I love it, but I'm on a diet, so this is probably just going to be horrible for me. But
good luck.
Tiering fast food. Kind of. Have you ever seen those like charts that like tier it from like S tier to F tier?
Paco did one and it was terrible.
Honestly, I just want to get out of the way and just figure out what everyone's like worst fast food experience is. What place do you refuse?
Oh, okay.
Like start at the very bottom.
Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr.
Really?
Okay.
Okay.
You want to elaborate or just because?
I had a burger from there once, and it was the most god-awful thing. I unwrapped it.
You're upsetting a lot of people right now.
I don't care. I don't really mind.
My question is, what's the sample size here? Did we just talk about one time, or did this happen over multiple times, or was it?
And then I heard more stories from other people when I told them this story. And
what if they were lying? What if
you asked me for the worst experience?
But I can't go off of one experience.
Well, I don't know. Honestly, I can't think of like. It's really hard for me to think of like absolute worst. Frankly, more often than not, I'm rather disappointed with McDonald's, which is more often than not. It's like that last call. You're drunk and everything else is closed, and you need something in your stomach besides the French fries. I'll say the French fries are the only thing that's good about McDonald's. But every other experience, just I've gotten that food and I can feel that those people don't want to work there. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. When I was in college, I lived next to this horrible place called Del Taco. I don't know if you've ever arrived at one of those.
Yes.
But that is my worst fast food experience ever because I hate it because man, it just feels like I'm eating paper half the time.
I can respect that.
I hate Del Taco. It's not over one experience. It's over like 10 times I've been there because all my friends love it and I don't understand. And they would take me there every time and I would try to spend as little money as possible because it just wasn't worth it.
Well, I guess another one for me would be Little Caesars. Do you guys, any of you guys like Little Caesars?
I do.
It's literally, to me, it's literally cardboard with marinara sauce on it. That's my experience. But yeah.
That's how I used to feel about Pizza Hut.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Honestly, I think everyone has like a pizza place that they feel tastes like cardboard to them.
Yeah, that was for me.
I love Little Caesars.
Little Caesars, but no, I would get it all the time. I just wasn't happy about it.
I used to not like Little Caesars, but then I found their marinara sauce, and you can dip like the pizza into that, and that made it taste like so much better.
You just show up with $7 and I have a pizza, man. I mean,
yeah, it's fair. It's fair. Yeah. Well, so what would be your what would be your best experience?
Oh, we're jumping all the way to the top, huh?
Yeah, and then we'll rate. Then we'll meet in the middle and go rating. But what's your favorite?
My favorite is definitely Taco Bell by far.
I'm disappointed in you, but that's okay.
It's funny because we have Del Taco on one end.
Yeah, I know.
I hate it. Just throw that down.
The complete
the
other side of the spectrum.
And then the heavenly Taco Bell that provides just such good food for me every time. I've yet to have bad Taco Bell.
Okay,
and I have it a lot. So I mean, it's good. I like it.
How about you? Do you have a
I'm trying
worst?
to think of
or best? Sorry, best. My bad.
No, I'm trying to think of what mine is. I can think of yours. I believe.
Ooh. I think you probably know. I think everyone here should probably know.
Can I take a guess right now?
You want to say it at the same time? Ready? So 3, 2, 1, then say it. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Canes.
Yes.
Hey!
It is Raising Canes.
He is so on fire about Canes.
Dude, okay. So here, and that's why Paco's list sucked. I wish I could pull up Paco. If you're listening, it's the only time I'll directly call someone out. Your list was garbage, absolute trash. Because Canes was low on the list, like lower than like a lot of other chicken places. See, and I was really upset about this.
This is actually honestly why I'm not sure what my best is at the moment because I love chicken strips and chicken tenders.
That's fair.
Okay.
And so I have had Canes for the first time like a month ago.
Yeah.
And it is pretty up there. And
Canes is really good.
I also like I also like Chick-fil-A.
That's fair.
And Chick-fil-A has great chicken tenders, strips, nuggets, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously too is like depending what you're going for, right? Which we'll get into the tier stuff, I guess, in a little bit. But like for me, is like if I want just like hot, fresh, nice, like good chicken with like light breading that's just nice, a whole wholesome meal, that's Raising Cane's. But if you want some crunch and you want something with a lot more like, I don't know, I guess depth in the breading, then Chick-fil-A is a lot more, covered. It's a lot more thick of a breading. That's a lot crunchier.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
But I feel better about Cane's than I do about Chick-fil-A, which is weird because everybody I talk to about is so on fire about Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
which,
and I'm not like
there's some items at Chick-fil-A that I really do like.
The problem that people talk about is that Cane's does not have a big enough menu.
Yeah, that's also true. Literally, their sandwich is chicken fingers on bread.
So if you're not into chicken strips, that might not be your place to go.
No, of course.
No, you're just going to like it regardless.
Yeah, you have to, or else you're disowned from this family.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Well, so then, so tiers-wise, why don't we take, like, groups, and we'll do that. I think that's the best way to do it. So, for example, I'll go ahead and, like, lump sum your general fast food burger joints. Okay. So that would be, like, in my opinion, you would go, like, McDonald's, In-N-Out, Burger King, Wendy's. I'm trying to think of some other ones.
Are you trying to, like rank them from lowest to highest?
Saying, so what of those would be better than all of those to you?
My favorite burger place? Are you
out of like those, fast food burger places.
I'm on fire about In-N-Out. I talk to people all across the country that just say that
it's way overhyped.
It's way overhyped, but I still love it, man. Yeah. I grew up.
Are you one of those people?
I hear it.
I'm one of those
people. We're gonna all end up hating each other after this
murder.
No, I just like it's a good burger. Don't get me wrong.
All right, that's the end of the conversation.
All right, and then we've established that it is the best. Okay, thank you.
But it's not outstanding to me, and the other parts of In-N-Out just don't equate to other places. The fries aren't that great at all to me.
That hurts my feelings.
I can attest that I don't like the fries the best. Okay. They're not bad, but they're not good.
Well, so my thing is, here's my opinion of In-N-Out. For the price you pay, it's consistently a solid, just good meal, in my opinion. Like, you know what you're going to get every time. It's really good. The burger's very good. But the only thing I don't like, and I think actually deters people from In-N-Out, is I think the fan base of In-N-Out is just, they overhype it like absolutely crazy. And they also go, oh, well, you didn't like it because you didn't do the double Dutch animal style thing. Like, and that, like, I think kills it. Because to me, it's like you shouldn't have to do all this extra nonsense to just eat a burger and like it. But for me, it's like In-N-Out to me is like, no, to me, it's my consistent, good, fresh burger. Like, I agree the patties are small, but like a double-double, which is like their standard thing, is 2 patties, and that feels like a nice, wholesome burger. And then, obviously, like I just said, people say all the things that make it good. But like, I like the fries, but I also do get mine well done, which means they like leave them in the fryer a little longer.
God. They're already
crispy. Well, that's what I'm saying. So they're
Yikes,
they're like a little crispier, and I like that. So that's just a personal preference. Not saying everyone has to do that. But so for me, it's really good. I like it all around. And then like a Lemon Up, which is the pink lemonade with 7-Up, that's really good. Okay. So I'm a fan of all of that stuff. But obviously, if you don't know, like, oh, I should try a Lemon Up. Or, oh, I think the fries get soggy. Maybe I should get them well done. If you don't know that stuff, that makes your In-N-Out experience bad. And that makes In-N-Out maybe not as high on the list, in my opinion.
You goddamn heathens have not brought up the shakes yet. I swear.
Oh, for In-N-Out?
I love the shakes
at In-N-Out.
I like In-N-Out.
How
It's
the
literally
hell
just
are you not
ice
talking
cream.
about those?
Yeah, it's just ice cream. That's why I like it. Super good. At least in my opinion.
I love them, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
You get your fries even crispier.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Well, so I would put In-N-Out probably for me just personally. I wouldn't say in general, but me personally, I'd put it at my top like burger place. Okay. If somebody was like, "Hey, let's go get burgers," I'd pick In-N-Out.
I would say that other than the one time I had Whataburger, and I will say that I felt like it was a better.
Yeah, like, Whataburger was. I've still never had it.
It was expensive. That's my only mark against it. It was just how much it cost. It was about twice as much as In-N-Out. So it's tough to compare them. They're pretty close for me. I might have to give it to Whataburger though, just because it was just such a good experience. But I only had it one time, so it could go down.
Many people declare Whataburger being the best burger out there.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I only had the patty
I've
melt.
Never had
patty melt. Okay.
That's my only experience was the patty melt, but man, it was heavenly.
Okay, well then,
this is a place for me that like you being also from Washington may have heard Red Robin.
Yes,
Red Robin.
I used to love Red Robin burgers, and they went out of business in California. So like, technically,
wait, Red Robin like fast food or Red Robin like the restaurant?
Well, that's the thing.
Because there is Red Robins here.
There are. They've started getting closed down. Okay. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. Because like I've definitely eaten at Red Robin. Like,
it's like a mutated hybrid.
But they were fairly cheaper burgers, but they still had like a decent quality taste to them, and I used to love those.
Well, then, we talked burgers. So I would like to throw up, and I think it's a really hot topic too, is nuggets. So like chicken nuggets. So Cane's does not fall into that because Cane's is a tender. Yeah. It's not a nugget.
Yep.
So I would say for me personally, Wendy's nuggets are way top for me.
Here's the question now. Are we talking about nuggets with a sauce or nuggets by themselves?
I would say
because I have two different answers for that.
That's fine. You could say both because I would say they're kind of separate.
For nuggets by themselves, I will definitely always go to Wendy's.
Yeah, Wendy's by far.
Wendy's
for
like
me.
the spicy nuggets or like
the spicy nuggets with barbecue sauce. That shit is so good, dude.
But if we're gonna do sauce, then I would do McDonald's with the sweet and sour sauce.
Okay. See, like
because that has a more of a crisp crunch to it that goes really well with a sauce.
Yeah, because for me, it's like McDonald's nuggets are just kind of like bland, which I think is why it's more like you're having a vessel for the sauce. You know what I mean? So it's like at that point you should just be sticking your fist into it and just licking your whole fist with sauce on it. Because that's the equivalent of what you're getting. You know what I mean? You just have something to chew on.
But like McDonald's or what they should sell.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because like Wendy's though is like I said, is like the nugget is great. Like the breading on it, it's seasoned and flavored, especially the spicy nuggets.
It's not too thick.
They're super good. And then you add barbecue sauce, or some people like ranch, stuff like that. Like that just makes it that much better. So I would put it to Wendy's. But like
I can't think of any places that I've had a whole lot of nuggets from.
Jack in the Box, Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's.
Jack in the Box is not the best.
Yeah, Jack in the Box nuggets are
very heavily breaded. From at least from the places I had, but I would agree Wendy's was pretty top notch, and it wasn't too expensive. And I always weigh that into my decision.
Well, right now too, they do that 2 for $5 thing, so you get 20 nuggets for $5. That's a really good deal. Yeah. So I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, you want nuggets? Wendy's is a pretty damn good option.
Oh yeah. Well, so then we kind of touched on it briefly when we mentioned In-N-Out, but what about fries? That's a hot topic.
Man.
So people go like, I'm actually surprised nobody's mentioned Five Guys. I am not a fan of Five Guys. Personally.
Well, I like Five Guys.
Thank you. But yeah.
But it's one of those things that's just overhyped.
It's way overpriced, in my opinion.
You know, there's just better options out there. Now, I will eat there, and it's good.
Totally.
But I just, I get a paper bag, which looks like I'm trying to, like, take a lunch to work, and, like, it's filled with grease half the time.
And then you open up, and there's a vodka bottle in it.
I've had my bag from Five Guys split open before because there's so much grease it just wetted the paper. So, I mean, like, maybe there's an alternative that's not quite like that. But.
Yeah. Well, and, like, so with fries, right? So, because I've actually had Five Guys, like, the Cajun fries. Those are actually pretty good.
Yeah, they were good.
I'll be honest. Those are pretty good.
I would go there for mainly the fries.
But, like, my top fries... is really hard because it depends again, like kind of like ketchup or like sauce, or some people do ranch, right? Because for me, honestly, like Jack in the Box, like fries when they're fresh are pretty good.
Now those curly fries,
the curly fries are really good. I would actually put Cane's fries with the cane sauce pretty high up there.
No.
For me. No, I'm saying for me. That cane sauce is really good. Yeah, and the fries. No, and the fries are really good too, especially with the cane sauce.
Like, do they put like arsenic in there? Because like
no, but I have a Caniac card member. I am a member.
You're like in a cult, man. I swear.
Don't tell anyone. We meet outside Cane's on Saturdays.
There is nothing about Cane's that you can like dislike for you. I swear.
No. I can't think of it.
Is literally, the Diet Coke better there than the other?
No, well, so that's actually the thing is I forgot what it was, but like Sprite at McDonald's hits different. You ever had a Sprite from McDonald's?
It's
way more carbonated.
At McDonald's taste very different.
It's way more carbonated and better. That's what makes it better. But yeah, it's like super carbonated. So you get that shit, you're like, oh my god, I just like am awake. I can do anything. But yeah,
this is gonna be a very off one.
For fries,
and they had a specific like promotional fry at one point, but Burger King fries for me.
Oh, is it the chicken fries?
No, they had the those were pretty good, but they had Satis fries.
Satis fries,
which for some reason there were like 30% less salt, sodium stuff.
Okay,
but they were fucking delicious.
Huh.
Honestly, and they made them more like steak fries too.
Oh, okay.
So they had more of a bite to them, and honestly, that was like my favorite one.
It's really interesting.
I'm having a tough time deciding because I got 3 fries that are just so different from each other. So are we just going standard fry or like?
Here's the thing, that's because like every fry has their own quality to them. For like McDonald's fries, for example, if you're really wanting something salty,
of course,
I would always go to McDonald's no matter what.
Yeah, but if you want to eat literally dirt and a potato, you go to Chick-fil-A. You ever eaten a Chick-fil-A fry, dude? It tastes like dirt. It tastes like they literally pulled the potato out and handed it to you. I put it that low. I put it that low.
I don't know. Chick-fil-A fry, I kind of like them.
No, I like them sometimes, but like
they're pretty high on my list.
I'll eat them, dude.
Waffle fries, I don't like them.
Well, no, but I'll take a bite of it. I'm like, literally, that's a root, dude. Like,
I've never had that experience. They've always been really good when I've had them. I don't know. They're pretty high up there.
That's how I feel about In-N-Out fries.
Okay,
but just not Chick-fil-A fries.
Well, that's fair because especially you see them fucking mashing the potato at In-N-Out.
Not the worst fries I had, but In-N-Out fries just they don't cut it for me, man. I can't finish them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm sorry.
I'm disappointed. Well, no, it's like I'm also a weirdo. Anybody who's ever eaten In-N-Out with me knows this, but I will eat my In-N-Out fries before I touch my burger. It's the only place I'll do that.
That's a good question.
It's the only place I'll do that.
I know people that just do that regardless of
whatever so I won't do that anywhere.
Do you guys have fries before the burger or burger before the fries?
Fries before burger.
In-N-Out is the only place I'll do fries before burger.
I always
Everywhere
do
else
fries
is mixed.
before the burger.
Everywhere else is mixed.
I can't do it any other way. I don't know why.
Yeah, so like every time I'll do that is because for me is I do not like In-N-Out fries when they're cold and when they're wet or like soggy.
I don't.
And that's the thing is like when they sit for a while, so you eat your burger and you're having conversation with people, and then you go back to your fries and it's like this tastes like dirt. But for me, it's like if I eat it right away, I'm like, dude, this is so fucking good.
Well, I feel like a burger holds heat better, so that's why you like save it. I don't know.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
But then it also probably has to do with conversation because like when you're sitting down and you get your fries and you can start eating fries, you can still talk.
We're writing an equation.
You make the assumption that I'm eating one fry at a time, though.
Yeah, you're like, no. Also true. Well, no,
because when you take a bite into a burger, it's kind of like you have to like actually have the meal then.
Yeah.
I eat fries the exact same way that I eat
well, no, so you're just like
full face. Yeah.
Well, no, so again though, for me, In-N-Out is the only place that I'll do that for. Everywhere else, I'll mix and match. It doesn't matter. But like In-N-Out is the only place I will strategically, like habitually eat my fries.
I'm gonna eat
before
a fifth of my burger and then 3 fries and then another eighth of my burger.
Yeah, I'm a weirdo. I also take the spread, which already has ketchup in it, and I mix it with more ketchup.
The Cane's cult is affecting him in a
I know.
way
It's starting to bleed over into other things.
Yeah, but honestly, it's you guys just haven't taken your vows yet. But once you do,
I hear
you're
him
part
in
of
the
the
morning.
brotherhood.
Like,
This is something throat chants. I forget what it's called. But yeah, that's what I do when I go to Cane's. I'm just yelling that on the freeway. Driving to Cane's.
Are we good on jumping ahead to another item?
Yeah, so I think that's fries, burgers, chicken nuggets. Oh, pizza. So what is that? Like Papa John's?
I mean, whatever,
Domino's, Little Caesars,
everything.
All the fast food.
Can we put Costco pizza in there?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you can.
See, I'm obviously biased in that one. I do not like Costco pizza.
It's because you fucking work there.
I work there,
yeah,
so it's ruined.
Maniac. Of course you don't
It's
like
good.
it.
I'll eat it, but every time I eat it, because I made them. I was in food court for a while, and when I made it, I was just like, you know that episode on SpongeBob?
This sucks.
Well, you know that episode though in SpongeBob where that guy buys out the Krusty Krab and he makes like the gray patties out of putty and it's on a conveyor belt and then SpongeBob just goes, "Where's the love?" That's me when I was making pizzas at Costco. Because we literally have a fucking we have a press, so it'll press it and then you put on the thing and there's literally a saucer and it's like on a fucking arm belt and it like sauces it evenly.
Ruining this for me
Yeah,
right
I know,
now.
yeah, and then we just put it in an oven, obviously. But yeah, and then I just remember it coming out and just being like, "Where's the love?" Because like my favorite pizza for me, which this is not fast food, so I don't think it counts technically, but I would say Pizza Port. Which is like a local
yeah.
There's a local one.
Is that the large one?
No, that's Pizza More in Escondido. But no, that one's a microbrewery, Pizza Port. So if you've ever been to Padres Stadium, people probably drinking their beer, but their pizza's fucking phenomenal.
I feel everybody on the East Coast right now just like deeming us unworthy of talking about pizza right now.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, the best pizza I've ever had in my life was in New York.
I know. I'm regretful now.
Well, so New York was the best pizza I've ever had. But if we're talking about like fast food, so I would exclude Pizza Port.
Maybe we should do that.
That's really hard because honestly, I would maybe go with Domino's. Just because I love garlic and the crust has the garlic on it, so that fucking sells it.
You and I are just polar opposites on pizza.
We hate each other.
I don't like.
What
Domino's.
do you like Papa John's?
Yeah, I'd put it up there.
I'm not upset with Papa John's, but I just love the garlic crust at Domino's. It sells it for me. I also
love Costco pizza, and you can just.
I will ruin it for you.
You can just accept that fact because man, I've always loved it.
Nope.
I've never turned down a Costco pizza.
I feel like if we're ranking these out here, we have. Domino's, I feel like, puts a little too much dough for their pizza. Like, the crusts are way too large.
Yeah, screw you. And
see, I actually disagree. I think Papa John's does way more crust.
No,
the pizza itself is thin, but
crazy.
The crust is way thin.
Every Domino's pizza
that's what I hate about Papa John's too. Is that the pizza doesn't feel like it has a bite to it.
It's super thin, yeah.
Never feels
but
like.
But then Domino's, I think, is pretty even throughout.
Except the edge, which is like a massive like.
But that has the garlic on it.
It's literally like
and that's
a
all
loaf
I
of
wanted
bread in your pizza slice.
Yeah,
at the
but
end.
that's what I wanted. Well, and then I will say I am a little partial to like stuffed crust cheese pizza from Pizza Hut. That shit's pretty good.
Well, if we're talking about the other item menus, I'm gonna Domino's the cheesy bread.
Yeah, cheese bread's pretty good. Yeah,
10 out of 10. Every
Papa
time.
John's garlic knots are the best out there to me.
No,
those garlic knots are the best garlic knots ever for me. Like a fast food.
Can we, for the next podcast, do like one of those mukbangs and we just get all this food that we're
we're just
like
eating
it. Oh god,
the best one.
I bet everyone listening is really
right
hungry. ASMR. Well, yeah, that would be probably pizza.
Man, we are very divided on pizza.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised about that one. Actually, Domino's is my final answer. Yours is Costco. Or do you say or Papa John's?
What would be my top?
Or Pizza Hut or Little Caesars. Those are ones.
Little Caesars is up there.
Have you guys ever heard of Papa Murphy's?
I have not.
I have.
So Papa Murphy's is basically also known as the take and bake pizza. So you go and they make it for you cold, saran wrap it, you take it home, and then
doesn't count. You have to make it.
That's why.
Interesting.
Because you can make it better if you want to.
Yeah.
Put some love into it.
That was actually
Costco
something
doesn't do apparently.
Yeah, they do none of that. Well, actually, so I would try to. So I remember though when I was at Costco though. Well, also too is like. I mean, if you guys like cheese, good for you. But like the cheese pizza has 1.5 pounds of cheese on it.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Fuck ton of cheese.
Put it in me.
But then even at that is like, so what I would do though, we weren't really supposed to do this. So hey, supervisor, if you're listening, but we would take like a pepperoni sausage pizza, which is totally fine. Mm-hmm. But we take the bacon and the chicken from the chicken bake, and we would put that on the pizza. That was pretty good. And then like the Caesar dressing for the chicken bakes, if you guys know that, we would sprinkle that on it when we put it in the oven. And that shit was really good.
Are you suggesting that Costco should now make a secret menu like In-N-Out?
Yeah.
Ooh, custom pizzas.
Dude, if they did that, they would make a lot, actually. Well, no, so what we did one that was really crazy. I don't want to like digress too much, but we did one that was really crazy. And we started serving chili. For some reason, so we actually took the chili.
Oh, man.
So we put like the marinara down, and then we put the chili on it and spread it. Put the cheese on top with the chicken from the chicken bake. That was it though. We didn't do anything else to it. And it was actually really fucking good.
I don't know if I would like that.
And another weird one that we didn't do at Costco, but I'm saying a pizza. I know that's weird. It's not fast food, but it's Urban Pizza, which is local. We've all been there once, I think. It was after the WWE thing, if you remember that.
Yeah.
That place is super good, but they actually have a mashed potato pizza. Which sounds terrible.
Why?
But apparently it's phenomenal.
How do you make that even?
It's literally, so to my understanding, it's just cheese and I think like a white sauce. It's not marinara.
Okay.
But then it's literally mashed potato and butter.
What?
And apparently it's fucking incredible. I've never had it. I've never had it.
Okay.
But apparently it's amazing. I have no idea. Apparently it's amazing.
Give me a slice, not a pizza.
I mean, I'm down to go try it if I split it. But I don't want to.
I'm not going to invest on a pizza.
Yeah, same.
So I'd be down to try this.
I'm scared though. I don't want to spend the whole money on a pizza and then end up hating it and being like, well, this is stupid.
So here's a question. Kind of it's an Inception tier list now. Toppings to pizza. Can you tier those now?
Pepperoni, meat, dude. I'm a meat guy.
Yeah.
Pepperoni, sausage.
We got a whole bunch of men here.
Pepperoni, sausage, and bacon. If you put veggies on a pizza, go eat a plant. It's like, I'm just kidding. That's not true.
I like veggies on pizza, but meat has its place where it's just iconic. You can't get past that.
That's true.
I agree with meats. There's only 2 veggies I will put on. It would be mushrooms and green bell peppers.
Oh, okay.
I'm upset and offended, and I'm leaving because I hate both of those.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing for me is like I like the meat stuff on the pizza. Like I've done like Italian salami, right? Sausage, pepperoni, bacon, Canadian bacon, like all this shit on a pizza. It's so good. But something I personally don't care about,
and I'm broccoli.
No. So I don't care about it. But I'm curious what you guys think. I don't care. People can do whatever they want. Be your own self. I'm not going to yell at you. But pineapple on pizza.
Nope, out.
I don't care.
I
don't like it. But I don't care.
I don't like it.
Like it?
I like it.
You're 2 to 1, so you need to leave the podcast.
You said you're neutral.
Yeah, well, I'll say I don't like it, but you can do whatever you want. So you can do whatever you want.
For me,
but I'm still hating
I've grown up loving citrus fruits, so it's something that I'm used to, and I think
you're digging your own grave here.
I'm just saying that's why a lot of people like that.
Right.
Is because they okay with citrus.
Shit,
this is why you guys put me in the middle.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I've never liked pineapple on pizza, but I guess people can. They're welcome to.
See, that's why it's good to have me around, because if you order pineapple pizza, I'm just gonna shove all that on the other side. You get twice the pineapple.
Yeah.
So it's good to have me around.
Yeah. It's the only reason why we keep you around, actually.
So you need my pineapple.
Yeah, even though I don't like it, but you know.
Man, you don't like pineapple on pizza. You don't like pickles.
Well, I'm also like a weirdo. Not weirdo, but like not. I wouldn't even say picky. It's just I like what I like. So who cares? You can call me picky if you want. But like on burgers and stuff, I'm pretty simple dude. Just meat, cheese, and some sauce probably. But I don't need like lettuce, ketchup, or lettuce, tomato. I don't need all that. Onions. I don't need that stuff. I just do like ketchup, spread it in and out.
I do like onions on burgers. I think it adds a little bit of a flavor to it and crunch.
Oh wait, what about hamburger pizza? You guys ever had that?
I've not.
Papa John's did a hamburger pizza.
I'm scared.
You wouldn't like it because it has pickles in it.
Well, okay.
Okay. But that's pretty good, actually. I did try a bite of that. It's weird how it tastes literally like a
Are we going to venture into the realm of, like, what you guys will never eat?
Oh, any insect. Like fried spider, fried crickets. Never. Absolutely
I could
refuse.
do it. There's a few of them I probably couldn't do.
Never.
I feel like I could do most of them. But I'm pretty picky with most things. I don't know. Obviously, I hate pickles.
Yeah.
Just get that out of the way.
But yeah, I don't think I could ever do like any kind of insect, because I know that's like a delicacy. People do like deep fried spider, and I can't fucking do that.
Yeah,
a grasshopper.
I could probably do the grasshopper because
I never.
I've had friends who've done that, and they say it's not too bad, so I trust them.
Do you have one you'd never touch?
I think I'd be okay with the insects or whatnot. I don't think I could do. I think it's like in China or something where dog is a menu item.
Well,
I don't think I could do that.
Probably not.
Well, so I was gonna ask them, what's your weirdest thing you've had?
Weirdest
like
thing I've
most
had.
abstract thing you've eaten. I have definitely my top one, but it's not something I'm proud of.
I've not been very adventurous. I can't think of anything that's like out there. I mean,
so I'm about to be roasted in comments for sure.
Uh-oh.
But when I was being in Seattle, the Sounders are a big soccer team in Seattle.
You ate the whole team.
You cannibal.
And the fans. Is that why they're gone?
Oh God,
they're gone now.
No, but one time on the way to a match, like we have these big parades that go through the streets, and everyone just like is drunk coming from the bar. And there was a guy selling hot dogs.
Uh-oh.
You had one.
And they do hot dogs with cream cheese in them.
That sounds good.
It's really good. No, every single fucking person I've ever told this to thinks it's the weirdest.
I love
shit.
cream cheese.
Well, so basically what he did, he would take he would take a whole hot dog, he would cut it like almost in half, except the skin on the underside.
Yeah.
Grill the inside.
Okay.
Whoa. Toast the bun and then spread cream cheese on the inside of the bun, and then put the hot dog inside that with other like grilled onions and stuff like that as well. And it's the best fucking thing.
I don't like cream cheese.
Well, because for me with hot dogs, what my mom used to make would be like a hot dog, cut it like you said, put like just that stupid Kraft sliced cheese into it, but then wrap it in bacon and then cook croissant rolls around it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So that is super good because it's a bacon cheese hot dog with croissant roll. It's awesome. Well, so my weirdest thing though that I've eaten, and I'm not proud of it, is I was in Japan and we were out drinking. We were having a bunch of sake, and my buddy ordered something in Japanese because he's fluent, and I didn't know what he ordered. And he just puts it on and it's like looks like thinly sliced meat. So I thought it was like beef or like something raw. It was raw. It's called sashimi. It's like thinly sliced meat. You can eat it raw. You're supposed to.
Okay.
But I didn't know what it was. He's like, hey, try this. I was like, hey, I'll try anything once as long as it's not insects. Like if you hand me something, I'm willing to give it a shot. I might not like it, but I'll try it. So I try it and I dip it in some sauce and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, this is actually like not that bad. What is this? He's like, oh, it's horse. This is thinly sliced horse meat. And it was really weird because I never thought I would eat anything like that. But it was really kind of good. I'm not happy about it. But that was definitely the weirdest thing I've eaten. Whenever I found out it was thinly sliced horse meat. That was weird.
Yeah, I got nothing weird for you. I've been pretty normal my whole life. You guys are freaks.
That makes you weird. Weirdo.
Eating weird stuff. Not me. Couldn't be.
Never, no. But yeah, that was an experience. Go to Japan. It's cool.
All right. Are we uninceptioning finally? Just kind of
we can separate out now.
Getting out of the dreams, one by one.
We're out of all the layers, all the kicks have happened.
All right, we've gotten out of the pizza topic. Getting out of the pizza. Was there any other foods that we wanted to cover?
I don't know. I can't think of like milkshakes is a fun topic. We mentioned In-N-Out, but like there's Chick-fil-A's milkshakes, Sonic, Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Should we talk about service?
Fuck service. Cane's for sure. Yeah.
No, they call your name. Yeah. That's all they do.
So my experience at Cane's, and I think this was actually at a LAN. I think it might have been Vegas. But I'm just saying my favorite experience when I went to Cane's with a bunch of people was they ordered their food and then they're pulling their card out and they gave them their food before they paid. That's how ready this shit was. And it wasn't like gross and hot. It was piping hot, like fresh fucking chicken. So they heard him while he was ordering, getting his card out, and they gave it to him already. We were
in the middle of Vegas.
No, but still, it was like
poppin' place.
No, but any Raising Cane's takes like 2 minutes tops to get your food, even if they're insanely busy. That to me is impressive because you can have a line out the door and you still get your food in 2 minutes. So Cane's for me is probably in my top one. Because honestly, like I've waited 15 minutes or more at In-N-Out whenever they say, oh, it'll be like 5-7 minutes. But obviously, whatever. But
the process for In-N-Out is insane. So I don't blame them for taking a little bit longer. I mean, the Cane's is,
but God.
That's
Have you eaten that?
That's the whole process. I just summed it up for you. Yeah. He's catching on. A service?
That would be mine for service.
I don't really pay attention to that.
I'd probably have to say Chick-fil-A.
But the Would You Kindly, like from BioShock, and they make you fucking kill your dad?
But they ignoring that, they will actually like go, I guess, beyond what I normally consider customer service for their, they literally had someone, the first time I went there, they had someone outside waiting by the order pickup window, calling out people's names, seeing who would like start to stand up and go deliver their food to the table. Even in the outside, like, sit-down area, And that, I think, is, like, I've never had one person from a Chick-fil-A have, like, a sour attitude or anything like that. It always seems like they,
Because they're bred in a think tank. No, what is it? What do they have to say?
What?
They have to say something to you.
Did I?
When you say thank you, it's literally, like, required. I'm literally blocking on it. God, I've been at Chick-fil-A in so long.
They pee themselves on the spot.
Oh my God, this is gonna kill me. Can somebody please in the comments just tell me so I can remember? But no,
they say thank you. Their pants are dripping.
Oh, it's my pleasure. They say my pleasure.
That is exactly what I said.
Have to. If they don't say my pleasure, they literally get like a fucking write-up. Like I'm not kidding you. Yeah. It's like a thing. You have to say my pleasure. Because I know this. I know this because we had a coworker at Costco in the food court, and when she came out and worked with us, she was working at Chick-fil-A just before. And every time somebody said thank you, she'd say my pleasure. And I always asked her, I'm like, so why? She's like, oh no, we have to say that at Chick-fil-A.
She doesn't blink.
We are required to say that at Chick-fil-A.
Going down her
yeah. She's like, well, my pleasure. Yeah. But no, it's like you have to. So it's like I get like, yeah, it's good customer service, but also it's kind of like they have to.
There's a lot of cults out here, man. I swear.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Cane's is good chicken, but they breed their Chick-fil-A coworkers in a think tank, and the ones that aren't successfully bred are made into chicken. Okay? You understanding me?
That's why there's new workers every time I go
there.
They just murder them.
They murder them and make the chicken out of them.
That's where the chicken comes from.
Yeah.
What are you
It's so good.
Well, so should we...
You have horse meat. You're having real people meat.
I mean, I can only think of one service story, and that's when we went to Wendy's, and they kind of messed up our order, so they just gave me a free, like, Frosty. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was neat.
That's the best.
I actually went to Wendy's recently, and like there was some issues going on, and like it took a really long time. And I was like, oh, and I always tell people that like are like stressing out, like trying to keep the customer happy, right? Because they don't want to get in trouble. I always say, hey, I work at Costco. Like you're fine. Like I deal with this all the time.
Just show them your Costco badge. You're like, oh, we're
well, no, and then they ended up
officer badge.
Well, they ended up giving me like a extra chocolate chip cookie and extra Frosty because they were just like because all the essential worker stuff.
I only got a Frosty.
They're like, hey, we like appreciate like what you're doing too. So here you go. So I was like, oh, that was nice. But that's the people. That's
I didn't get a cookie, so they go down too.
Maybe you should go work at Costco.
I'm just gonna present my Costco badge. Oh, look at me!
You sound like a member. I am an executive member. I want you to suck my dick.
I just throw the card in there. I go to Costco.
People fucking do that, dude. They'll literally go to like I don't know a casino and be like, "Oh, do I get a discount because I'm a Costco member?"
I'm a veteran, a student. I shop at Costco.
Yeah, I'm a veteran, AAA, like student, Costco. See the executive membership? I've had that for 3 years. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Costco's not a fast food place. We can't talk about Costco. You got me all hyped up now because I hate Costco. Not really.
I love it, man.
That's okay then.
Where do we disagree is on
should we take from our for fun's topic and kind of transition to our second half here?
I guess.
So we've decided what's the best food. I hope everyone coherently followed that.
Taco Bell, yeah. 100%. Oh,
yeah, Cane's good. Yeah, glad we talked about it.
Yeah. So great.
So I know something a couple people have mentioned that they wanted us to talk about a little bit more on the serious side. Is kind of like overall everybody's kind of experience or opinions about the evolution of the Rocket League esports scene. So kind of starting from that first trailer they did with Rocket League. I don't know if you remember that. It was like a trophy that was like had pistons and stuff in it. You guys remember that trailer? Forever ago that announced Season 1 RLCS.
Nope.
You probably wouldn't know. But it announced Season 1 RLCS. And it was super exciting. So we're thinking about talking about that to all of the evolution up to now. So...
Well, I guess you guys got to spearhead it because I don't know shit about the first like 2 or 3 seasons. So.
Well, I guess just something in general. There's not really much to talk about besides like Season 1 was a really cool experience. Were you at Season 1, right? Mm-hmm. So Season 1 was a really cool experience. But I remember to give everyone an idea, everyone lost their mind because Overzero did an air dribble, right?
Now, I've seen that play so many times,
and it's an iconic play. But like it's just funny like looking back at like the IBP finals with Flipside. Obviously evolution too of just gameplay and game style. They just weren't that good back then. Well, at the time they were the top of the world.
Remember, and what we were all talking about back then is that Overzero came in without any nerves because all those other players. This is the first time they're up on stages.
Yep.
This is the first time they were getting out, being in public, whatnot.
Yeah, that was something
and
too.
Going through the
first LAN experience for like 90% of them.
Yeah, exactly.
The 3-day thing was they had nerves all the way up till the 3rd day. Overzero just comes on the last day and it's like, hey, what the fuck? Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, he was a sub initially, right?
Yeah, Gambit was the Gambit was the starter.
Yeah,
and even that was something too. Is a lot of people maybe don't know this, but Season 1 was only 2 days. It wasn't 3.
Really?
Yeah. Season 1 of LAN was a Saturday, Sunday.
How many teams were there?
I think it was 8. I think it was 4 and 4.
That would make more sense.
Yeah, but it was only 2 days. Because once they introduced the other regions, yes, because I remember there was a bracket reset system still.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was double elim.
How did they do that?
But yeah, so I think it was 8. I could be wrong.
They basically, from what I remember, they paired off 1 NA and 1 EU.
Team I could see them doing
a bracket.
Yep. That works.
Yeah. And then they did that, and then they had the lower bracket and the final bracket.
I believe I remember like 3 EU teams moved on in the winners, and 1 NA team moved from that.
So correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be thinking of the wrong land. But season 1 was where there was a live music performance, correct?
Yeah. Yes. So actually Hollywood Principal, which is the band, which actually I was going to tweet this like a few days ago.
That hasn't happened in any other lands.
No. And it's also really cool for Hollywood. Hollywood Principal was really cool because they did a lot of the music for the original soundtrack. For myself and a lot of other people who probably bought it, but like I got the collector's edition vinyl, the soundtrack for the vinyl of Rocket League.
Yes.
And Hollywood Principal did a lot of that music. So I remember this forever ago when I bought this, I got it framed with actually Art's help. That's how I kind of started talking to Art because he tweeted a picture of his frame that the psyonix got for all the devs. But then I was like, oh, that's a really cool frame. Like, where'd you get that? He told me it's custom made, blah, blah, blah. I went and got it all handled. But before that, I remember going to a Facebook page for Hollywood Principal and getting that. I mailed it to them, which actually ended up being Psyonix's office at the time. And they signed it and brought it back to me. So, like, I have this vinyl record with Hollywood Principal's signatures on it, which I thought was, like, super cool.
Yeah.
So getting to see the live performance to me, I was just eating that up. I think a lot of people at the time weren't really... I mean, sure, people got it, but I bet people were like, oh, that's cool. They got some band to play Rocket League music. But I'm like, no, guys, they like did the music. Like, this is so cool. Like, honestly, that laid a lot of the foundation for things like Monster Cat and everything to come into it. No, they built the sound of Rocket League.
It's a good foundation.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what was like the energy like at season 1? Do you remember?
Like, to me, I remember at least it was super hype.
Okay.
Like, it was a very tight knit, very much more wholesome. It was a small venue.
What was the attendance?
It was what
300 in total capacity.
Yeah, it was small, very small.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was not big, and that like literally was 2 things of chairs on the floor like this, and then I think a top section, but that was for devs only.
Okay.
The top section was devs and special guests only, and the bottom section was like 2 rows, like wide. There were wide rows, but wide rows of chairs with a small booth section back here.
This isn't like any type of like place to hold this thing. This was at a nightclub.
Yeah, this is at something that was like they did concerts.
A nightclub in downtown LA, like on Vine Street.
Right by Capitol Records. Yeah, the Avalon is what it was called.
And here's what sets it apart from other lands too for me is like the best thing I always remember was after the first day. I think it was like Knox Phoenix and a couple other people got their laptops. And there's only like one 5-star hotel in LA, which is the W. We went across the street to W. In the bar lounge there, they put their laptops on these like marble countertops.
Oh, yes.
And we started playing 1v1s.
Hell yeah.
In this like grand hotel. You know? And that's something you don't really see much in current lands now, is like that, you know, players and community just going off and having fun afterwards together. Definitely. I think it's a little bit different now. I think, you know, like bubbles and stuff have formed. Yep. And it's kind of more separated. Yeah. So that's something I miss from the old.
Yeah, and I'll point to the after party for not even the after party, but just like right after RLCS season 1 was over. I remember my favorite thing was I remember Kronovi, Overzero, and Lachinio. They were all on the stage with all the other pros. They're up there signing people stuff and just hanging out literally for I don't know how long. It felt like probably 2 hours after the games ended. And like now, obviously, I get it. Bigger venues, and they're used to this kind of stuff. As soon as it ends, they rush everyone out. They get everyone out. But like this is like, they just were on the stage. They didn't kick anyone out of the venue. So we just hung out. I remember that's whenever I met, I always mess up his last name. His name's Eric. He's an artist at Psyonix. Okay. And me and my buddy, we just spent like, I don't know, probably like till they kicked us out, which was like 2 hours after, just talking about Rocket League and like everything we love about it and all the stuff that they do and how cool it is. And then we went to the after party and we met up with him again and we just kept talking. And I had this poster from season, this is something we'll get to about stuff like that they do now. But I wish they would print a poster like that every LAN that has like the dates, the event, a unique poster to it. And then I remember at the after party, this obviously was smaller back then, right? It was very wholesome. There wasn't such a split, I wouldn't say hierarchy, but the division between the pro scene and fans, right? So you're just mixing and mingling. Like I'm just sitting there like hanging out with some friends, and then Marky Doodah's just right next to me, is hanging out, having a good time. And you go upstairs, and then there's just all the pros hanging out at this table, having a good time. Like you can come up to them, and like they want you to come say hi and like sign stuff and everything. But then modernly now there's that division,
it's
right?
It's very different.
But it's just obviously it makes sense why those things are there. But that to me was a very different experience than what it is now.
Sum up the progression of the RLCS events by the after parties.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that.
You know, how every after party was treated. You know, the first one being so open and whatnot.
It's very wholesome. Yeah.
You know, I remember the third one because another one in LA. That one was at the Golden Pub,
Golden Road Brewing Company.
Yeah. And
that was a fun one.
They had a slightly off.
Yeah, they had a back room for VIP.
For VIP and pros. But a lot of the pros would still come out, though.
Fairy Peak and K-Dop were doing around-the-world ping-pong tournaments.
Yeah, they would come out, they would interact with fans, you know, everyone would have a fun time and whatnot. And now you see the most recent one, I think, was that I went to in New Jersey. Yeah. Which was, you know, everyone upstairs in that VIP room, which no one came down from. Everyone
they did not want to come down.
Yeah.
But I remember season 4, which I think that was kind of the turning point, just because that was the last RLCS that Cloud Fuel was kind of in charge of. So
with Twitch,
there was a big change between that when Cloud Fuel kind of left that role, where it was just like all of a sudden things were handled a little bit differently. And I'm not really sure if it was because of what he was doing prior or what other people are doing after. But
well, yeah, and even at that too is something I also just wanted to comment on for esports, at least something for me that was a big takeaway, being really good friends with Leaf. And I don't think I became like really, really good friends with Leaf till leading up to season 3 of RLCS. But that progression of casting, like just what's they're capable of now is insane, man. I mean, even at the casting group, right? Like you can think of like the beginners, the ones that did it. And a lot of them, this was their first big time gigs. Yeah. And I remember talking to Leaf and James Bot about this when we were hanging out in LA one time. But, like, you have the people who were just starting with it, like James Bot, Leaf, Lawler. Leaf's done a little bit of Smash stuff, right? But then you have Axel Toss, and I'm trying to think of everyone else that was a part of that, like, first group. But I think that might have almost been it. Axel Toss, James Bot, Leaf, Wavepunk, Lawler, and
Carpet.
And Findable Carpet. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. But so these are all, like, sometimes some of them it's their first experience. But then they get this A-list host for LAN, and his name's Golden Boy, who has a lot of experience, and he's done a lot. And honestly, they've told me before that they've had that they look up to him at the time, you know? And honestly, that kind of helped, I think, get the ball rolling. But you see where there's now on the desk and casters that are just legends, right? And there's a lot of new people in here who are still getting their footing, but like they're finding it really well. Yeah. But they're there to help everyone because they're like, oh, we've been there. We've done this before. So I think the casting has evolved drastically in a really positive way to where it is now. At least. I think it's kind of helped shape the esports scene for Rocket League in a large way.
Funny enough about Golden Boy, actually, I remember because when I was doing my Smash Edit thing at Jersey, I was running around and I got an interview with Golden Boy, and we actually figured out he showed up for the 1st, the 4th, and the 7th. So every 3 years, RLCS LAN event.
I talked to him for a long time.
He has been there. So we're joking how he's going to show up for the 10th now. If anything.
Well, no, and I think like the talent has just overall gotten really good. I remember too, it was from season, I want to say 3 to 4, where they got the new studio for if you remember, they used to have like it was like a black desk with orange lighting around it, blue and orange lighting. Do you know what I'm talking about? The analyst desk. They transitioned to like a whole new look with the giant projector with the staircase up to it. That transition to kind of like up the level of class for me too. So it made it look like a little more respectable.
Yeah,
that I was like, wow, this
is a professional
very
studio.
Professional. Yeah, exactly. So that was a really big transition for me too in the esports scene.
I think there was a bunch of other off tournaments that really stepped up and also made psyonix want to produce more. I remember E-League, for example, had that amazing hexagon entrance, come through the tube and like have the setup. So I think, all the different events, think about Universal Open.
Universal Open.
They all had their unique ways of showcasing players and casting on the stage. Yeah. And I think that's kind of helped develop what psyonix is now at.
Well, and that's something too, and like you can see just I think arguably back in seasons, I don't know, 1, 2, and 3 probably, there was such a dissonance, or rather a large gap between EU and NA. And I think at the time, people looked at it and just wrote NA off. And then when people looked at it, they wrote OCE off when they got introduced. But you know what I mean, is they would just kind of see this large gap. I think where Rocket League's at now is it's just insanely that much more competitive. Not exactly saying that everyone's a little bit closer, but you can't rest on teams now. You know what I mean? You can't be like, we don't have to worry about
any team, any game.
That's what I'm saying.
They have a chance.
That wasn't the case before. Yeah. But I think the biggest thing, and a lot of people talk about this, but maybe not so much anymore, would be that like back then, EU was at its peak, its top, because it had the best players. NA didn't get to play with those players a lot. But like you're saying, with a lot of secondary, third-party events that happened, these players got a lot more experience playing together.
More mesh.
So they got to see some play styles, match some play styles, evolve in that way. And then you even get teams like Turbo Pulsar coming over to NRG and winning, you know what I mean, that you can work with an NA team and win
everything.
Exactly. So it's just like those teams are showing that. Cloud9 winning at Season 6, like stuff like that. You can see what these people are capable of. That matches that turns it into anyone's game, and I love that about the competitive scene.
It's the combination of players that amount to something. I mean, it's what everybody brings to the table together. Yeah. So it doesn't matter what region you're a part of. If you work hard and really strive for something, it's possible.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
That's what a lot of people tend to forget, is that just because there's one good team like dominating right now, next season you don't know what's coming.
Exactly.
So like it's hard to write off a whole region just because like things change, and they change quickly. Because I know a lot of teams that had struggles, they changed the roster, and then next season, boom, they just fly up, man.
Yeah, well, and even at that, so something that we've talked a lot about, like good positive things that are happening. I don't want to be any kind of Debbie Downer or discourage people from like wanting to invest in the esports scene, but I think it's important to bring up kind of like where we're at now. There honestly is a little bit of some shaky stuff. Where like at least in my experience, the shakiest thing for me, just as a consumer, somebody who just wanted to watch, I absolutely hated, and I won't talk about it much because we already talked about it on one of our older episodes, was LAN announcements were just so inconsistent and random, and it was super frustrating, and it pissed me off a lot. And in particular, DC was the worst one. I think it was less than a month notice of when and where LAN was.
3 weeks.
And that is just horrible. Like that, to me, as a consumer, was I can't go just because I didn't know soon enough. If you told me soon enough, I could have applied for the time off. Yeah. I could have gotten people to switch shifts. I could have figured this out. But, like, I'm just screwed. And I want to go. Like, I really want to pay money to this and contribute to this, but I cannot.
That is exactly how I felt about London.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, no, and again too is like I wanted to go, but like I just couldn't with the short notice. I couldn't scrap up that kind of cash to fly to England.
If I had 2 or 3 weeks more notice, my plane ticket arguably would have been about $300 or $400 cheaper, and I would have been able to go because I could have afforded it. But since it was such short notice, it was
well, and kind of off of that lack of communication. Not just from psyonix to the fans, but it seems like recently this came up. I think it was a Twitter post or was it an article, right? That was shared on Twitter or Reddit. I think the article said 13. I haven't looked at it
13
recently.
orgs, right?
But 13 orgs are, you know a little more details about that. Do you want to talk about that?
I mean, stuff that I know that I shouldn't say and stuff that I know that I can say.
Let's go with the can say.
What the can say is that a lot of orgs are pissed off. I mean, how do I invest in something as a business, right? So I'm a business. I want to invest in esports. Now, you're telling me I need to invest in a maybe. Yeah. That doesn't fly with a whole lot of businesses for some reason. So not having a hard set date or a plan for the future is so hard to invest in as far as an org goes, because I'm not only just paying like player salaries, but like I have to sign how long into the future you're saying? Potentially this date? That doesn't work, because what if I just want to sign you for a season? You're telling me that could be all the way till like February? Yeah. Potentially? Yeah. That discourages me completely.
Well, and like that's, to me, seeing that, like it's for me, it's always a tough spot, just because I always really try to encourage the best for people to look at the bright side when it comes to stuff like this, and just be on the positive, thinking that it's something we love, we want to support it, so let's have the best for it, right? Let's do what we can. Let's not bash on it and say that this sucks. But it kind of just sucks.
We're seeing potential for something catastrophic, which is what I'm worried about personally. Yeah. Because when you have all these orgs that are threatening to leave, and they do,
if they end up doing it,
then you have this bubble burst, and no one wants to pay for RLCS teams anymore. And then you're going to see a lot of things like Weedem Girls pop up, like teams that go to LAN, Triple Trouble. They go to LAN with nothing behind them. They have to fund it themselves,
and that sucks.
And that shouldn't be the case for highest competitors that make it to RLCS LAN.
Yeah. And this isn't like the first esport that's done this kind of thing either. You know, you look at, for example, the first one that comes to mind, Apex Legends. How they really dropped the ball on like getting a whole esports ecosystem kind of going from the start.
Yeah.
They could have got the people and get the community more involved and whatnot, and they let that go. And in my opinion, let the esports scene kind of not be what it could have been today.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Is I think Rocket League was and is super unique.
Yeah.
That you get good positive things like ESPN traction.
Love it.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Great steps in the right direction. But then, what are we doing with it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's the plan?
It's literally, I think of it very much. I guess like an analogy would be like volleyball, where people are setting for a spike, and all you need to do is just fucking hit it down, and nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
And it's just frustrating because like I always have seen the potential for Rocket League in the way that, like, just watching it season 1, in the way the crowd was involved in this, I'm like, this could fill a whole football stadium. Eventually. Not anytime soon, but eventually.
Yes.
Like, it could get there. Just because what it's capable of, it could do that. But it just isn't, because we're not, but like, I don't want to point fingers or say it's psyonix's fault, but just, I feel like...
That's a lot of people at fault.
Well, it's obviously a lot of people too, but I just think, like, there could be so much more focused allocation of funds, careful planning, things that could be organized, and everyone's just saying, well, I don't know what to do. And then everyone's doing that, and it's that bystander effect of how do we fix it, and nobody's fixing it.
There's two things that are at fault here, and that's there's no roadmap.
Yeah.
And then these orgs are like, oh, I could take advantage of that. So they put an ultimatum out that's crazy because they can afford to just leave if they want to.
These are big, huge orgs.
So the expected value for them is all of a sudden massive, so they're going to do it.
Yeah.
So you're putting yourself in a really bad spot by just not having a plan out, because another org could just come in and take that spot easily if, they're not going to pay for it.
Yeah.
But other orgs are going to just be like, I'm not paying a player that much. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and even at that, you see things like I just said, like the bystander effect of like, what do we do about it, right? And then you see people make an effort to help, like Fusion RL, for example, that's going on right now. That's helping. Fusion, it's literally, you think of it right now with like coronavirus and stimulating the economy. That's stimulating the esports scene. There is nothing. There is no guarantee of anything. We don't know what the future holds. Yeah. This is something so people can be like, yay, Rocket League esports. But like, we just don't even know what to expect for the future of Rocket League esports. And that's just so sad.
My theory is that, it's because of what's going on in the world right now. So, I mean, I get it, but there has to be just there's so many things that plan years, and we got not even days.
Well, and like that's like, sorry, go ahead. I'm talking a lot.
No, you're fine. I remember listening to an esport company called Ivan Global. They were having a esports conference about how coronavirus is kind of shaping where we're at right now with esports events.
Yeah.
And one of the big things that they were talking about is that we shouldn't be taking the past and trying to keep that same set box of what we did in the past and doing it now.
Yeah.
And possibly what might be going on is Psyonix is still trying to figure out how the next LAN event is going to happen, how the next should we be doing a different style of format, should we be doing something. And I think what we're trying to get at is that there's a very simple way to handle this situation in terms of doing more online events, doing more just continuously having a roadmap of online events to go forward until we find a solution date for Corona.
Yeah.
That we can start moving back to the LANs.
Yeah, like where's Summer Series then?
Well, something
at least to just say this is where we're going for now. Once we hear the future of coronavirus, we'll change things up. So be ready for that change. But until then, this is what we can do for now.
I'm so frustrated with telling people to be prepared for maybe. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
I can't give somebody 100% motivation to go forward on their dreams if it's just
and the thing too with what you're saying is that. Yeah, I agree. But what needs to happen too is that direction of online events, but that needs to be maintained after this. Because the thing is, like you're saying, is I can't tell you how many times I hear people say, I'm missing RL Esports, between LANs. But if they can work integrated, well done, focused online events, that fills those gaps. That stimulates the esports scene when there isn't an esports scene.
Right.
And I get right now it's panic, but this has been months now. And I'm assuming that conversations have happened, but I would at least like to hear we're talking about it, And I get that psyonix has done this in the past, and granted, devs have done it in general in the past, but psyonix is certainly guilty of it. I think it's RL, unfortunate events that preceded RL Esports Twitter, and they always take screenshots of we're going to update the tournament system, and then it just never happens.
Yep.
And there's not a discussion saying, hey, we did say this, but now that's not going to happen. They talk about season rewards being awarded as you earn them that exact season. Nothing's been talked about that. They've been talking about revamping personal training, and nothing's being done about that. So there may be a little bit in the scared boat of we don't want to promise anything and then not deliver.
Yes,
but that's
important.
Which is important. But I think it's that still happy middle that you can at least say we're talking about it.
Yeah,
that keep people on board.
I don't understand the fear of postponing things. I really don't. Honestly, if you just announce something.
Yeah,
and it gets postponed. It happens. But at least the plan was there. At least
something was being talked about.
You showed that there is a certainty of something.
Yeah.
Now maybe LAN gets pushed back. Month or so. People would be accepting of that. I really do think so, because you can't predict certain events happening, and if you're showing that you have good intentions going forward, I don't see the issue with that. Personally.
Well, and I guess for me is particularly with LANs, right? I just, and for example, TwitchCon did this really well, which still fingers crossed, doubt it, but hope it doesn't get canceled.
Yeah,
but things like TwitchCon date and location was announced for this year last year.
Yes.
Both locations. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't understand how it's that hard to not, which granted, I hate when people say this, because I just said it just now, and I hate when people say this, that I don't understand how it's that hard to do something that I've never fucking done in my life before. So how can you not do it? So that's not a fair thing to say.
No.
But I'm still in the boat of obviously other people, esports companies have done this where they're able to plan out their stuff months to years in advance. So at least why I'm a little bit in the confusion of why we don't have something like that. But I get it's smaller,
It just seems like we were making good progress throughout RLCS from start to now. We were making good strides. Having LAN announced 2 months before.
Yeah, of course. Progress.
Where it was when they announced when Dallas was when they did.
Yeah.
Phenomenal time.
Yeah, and Jersey was great too.
Everybody could go.
Yeah.
Unfortunate that it didn't happen.
And it was also a small venue, but
that needs to be standard.
Yeah. No, and I agree
it was
with
handled
that.
So well.
Well, and two is I want to say, because we're getting near the end here, but at the bottom of it all is I still love psyonix. I respect psyonix and everything they're doing. I think there's just a couple gaps in some of it, and maybe it's just the miscommunication.
I just think recent decisions are costing them more than they need to, and it's extending on other people, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
that's all I would need to say.
But again, it's like I still respect everyone over there. They're working their asses off to make a beautiful game. Hard. And I appreciate it. I think we all do.
Yes.
But again, it's just I think it's a fair thing to say things that think that could be improved on.
The thing to the devil's advocate too is if you look at TwitchCon, for example, like yes, they do have a set date a year from now, but there was a bunch of problems at TwitchCon as well, and they're still working on that, and they're still growing.
It's just a massive event.
And I think the thing to think about is like TwitchCon is I think it was like 2018. It was like 20,000 people showed up the 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
2019, we had 30 to 40,000 people
at a new venue that they've never been at before.
Right.
Which also throws a wrench in it off of like familiarity they had prior.
Yeah.
Right. And you're looking at Rocket League, the same thing for them is they're probably expanding and getting bigger and also trying to accommodate for all that.
Totally.
So I get at least from their perspective that there are things that they're trying to work into.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you work into it.
Yeah, like we don't obviously see. Yeah, we don't see budget reports and the expense reports for doing Prudential Center. Like that's a huge venue, and you don't know how much that cost and what food that they spent for that didn't get used, or what cups or souvenir stuff that they spent for and didn't get used.
Right.
You don't know that. We don't know that, and we never will.
But
that's
it comes down to the big thing we talked about before and mentioned is that the fact that 13 orgs made a letter.
That's insane.
That is like the biggest point, that's saying like, hey, this is something that does need to get fixed.
Yeah. Well, and hopefully, and hopefully, it can get done quickly. But yeah, I think that hits about an hour, so I think that just about wraps it up for us.
I think that's about all I need to say, other than just like it's tough not knowing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are just kind of in an unsure spot, and it really sucks because I feel like every day that passes it's hurting the scene a bit more.
And then watch there be an announcement tomorrow, and this goes up on Wednesday. So
yes,
that's good.
Please. I mean, I'd be stoked, honestly.
Yeah.
I would love to be wrong, but I don't think it's gonna happen personally.
Yeah. For sure. And we'll have to see.
But yeah, that's all I'm saying is that waiting kind of sucks, especially with nothing to look forward to. It's just a big void right now. So hopefully the path is kind of like the Indiana Jones path, where you just throw some dirt on it and it's fine. But
well, the good news is we might not have that to look forward to, but we do have another more podcasts and stuff to look forward to. This certainly isn't the last podcast.
No.
So we're going to keep on keeping on, and we'll have plenty of that to look forward to.
Well, I guess that's episode 16. The wraps, boys. We talked about fast food and Rocket League. Wow.
Next week, we're going to talk about Rocket League and fast food.
Oh, my God. Great. We're going to switch it up. Anyway, thank you for listening. That has been the 6th episode. We'll join you with the 7th one next week on the FPS Podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Go wandering eyes.